What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Back with another edition of Walks Buckeye Talks. Back with you uh, with the Buckeyes, ready to go undefeated once again. The number one team in the nation. Like I said, they might not like us, but they gotta respect us, man. Straight up, number one in the nation. I know it doesn't mean much right now, but hey, they gotta respect us, man. We've been doing this for a long time, man. So put some respect on Ohio State. But anyways, man, I just had to get that off my chest, man. A lot of people be disrespecting us, saying like a lot of stuff. We don't deserve this. We don't deserve that. Well, guess what? We've been battle tested. We've been putting people have been doubting us all year, saying we're gonna have two or three losses. And guess what? We don't. They gotta respect us, man. So, anyways, man, before I get into it with this week 9 matchup between Rutgers and the Ohio State University, once again, like, share, subscribe, comment. All feedback is greatly appreciated. So, man, let's get to it, man. So, week 9, uh, college football players just came out. So, we're the number one team in the nation. So, uh, the target is on our back even more now. Everybody's going to try to upset the number one team. There's only, I think, man, since the playoff team started, two teams who actually started from the first playoff number one and actually won it all. It was Georgia and Alabama. So this would be, a very big step into the right direction to the future for Ohio State. But let's not get caught up in that, man, because we got some important games coming up. And most importantly, we got Rutgers this Saturday, man. We can never overlook a conference opponent. And Rutgers coming in with a 5-2 record. I'm sorry, 6-2 record. They actually played Michigan really tough. Like if Michigan was at home, like I know the score, I think they lost 31-7. Yes, Michigan kind of had their way at times as far as up front, but hey, Rutgers defense is pretty good, man. They're like really good. So this will be another test for this offense who just seems like they just can't catch a break. Honestly, I feel like the offense has really been, man, like I feel like the defense has had a lot easier task to stop an offense than the offense has the task of scoring on hard defenses because they went from Notre Dame, that was a tough defense. They had to play Wisconsin on the road as a tough defense. They had to play Penn State at the time was number one defense. Now they about to play Rutgers, another top defense. So it's like, man, they've been like back to back to back to back tough defenses, but it's only going to build up the character for the offense, especially the O line, the quarterback play. But Rutgers is going to be a tough team, man. Like Bresciano, he had them boys playing really hard. They always play Ohio State tough. They always, have something to prove against us, prove their worth. And it's going to be a tough game. And I also feel like they're at home. Uh, the defense going to keep them in the game. And it's up to the offense of Ohio State to, keep these chains moving and put some points on the board because we can't rely on our defense to do anything, especially with the injuries that we're having, losing Latham. I don't know how long he's going to be out. It's going to be a test, man. That defense is, I think they're ranked in the top 15. Uh, but they haven't played an offense quite like Ohio State or seen the weapons. And I know that we're getting a Mecca Buka back, so getting Travion back, Olana's, getting better. So it's gonna be a good test for their defense also. But like I stated before, we can get past these little 2 game stretch. I think we good until the game. You know what I mean? Like I feel like after the Penn State, it was like okay, was focused, was take care of business at Camp Randall, which was a tough game, but we did. And I think this will also be a little tough game. I don't think it's going to be as tough as Wisconsin, but I do think you're going to have to really battle and really going to have to beat this team. Uh, Rucker, like I said, they always play us tough. They always have different special team wrinkles. Everybody knows who's part of Buckeye Nation. Our special teams is probably one of our weakest links of the whole entire team. So yeah, it will be a challenge, man. On the opposite side, their offense is okay, nothing spectacular, but they have a dual threat quarterback in Grant Winsat. I think that's believe his name. He's 19 of 91 of 181, 1134, 7 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. So he's not crazy productive in the passing game, but what he can be effective is running the football. I mean, he's a dual threat quarterback. Rucker is not going to be not is not a very explosive offense. They rely on clock control, ground and pound. So the offensive line is going to be firing off the ball. They're going to do a lot of misdirections to get that defense going sideline to sideline. And they got the second leading running back in the Big Ten as far as rushing yards. He has 144 carries. 144 yards and 7 touchdowns. So they're going to be grinding and pounding, control the clock. 3 yards here, 4 yards here, 5 yards here, just to keep that ball, to keep that clock rolling. Because that's to me, that's the only chance they get. Now, with that being said, our defense has been outstanding against the run. We did a good job on Braylon Allen. We did a good job on Trayshawn Allen and Nick Singleton. We did a great job on Estime from Notre Dame. So our D line and our linebackers and our secondary, we've been playing really good ball. So I'm not too concerned with the running game, but that dual threat quarterback, I thought we had a little bit of trouble with Talia from Maryland. He got out of the pocket a few times, made some plays. So it's going to be interesting to see how Jim Knowles can scheme that up and make it difficult for him. But uh, I'm not expecting a lot of points from Rutgers, but you're at home, you're playing the number one team in the nation. Things. Well, this is college football, man. Weird things happen when you're dealing with kids and it's just one game. Things happen. We see upsets all the time, But uh, I do think this will be a challenge for the defense as far as the dual threat quarterback. But I don't think we're going to give up too many explosive plays. But I'm interested to see how that bandit position is going to operate without Latham Ransom, a guy who's like I said, they can say what they want about Latham last year, this year, man. That kid is a baller, man. He sets the tone from the defense. Him and Proctor back there, they set the tone. They will crack you. They're good at a read and run support. So this is going to be a bigger loss than what I think the Buckeye fans realize, man, because Lathan is a very good run supporter, and I love Proctor, but at times he can get out of control and miss tackles and overrun them. So he has to be better. And I believe Sonny Styles will be back there. And even though I think he can do it, he will do it. He hasn't really been playing deep safety this year. He's more so been closer to the like a slot, almost like even like an outside linebacker at times. So this is going to be interesting, man. This is going to be very interesting to see how this defense operates. I'm excited to see Hancock out there more in the secondary. Igbinosa and Burt, they're going to shut down stuff. But it's interesting to see how we're going to be able to work maybe another slot corner in there. Maybe have to move Burke inside, or it's just going to be interesting, man. And I hate that, hopefully this injury is not long term because I do feel like we need Latham back there. But I'm excited to see the defense on the offensive end. Very stingy defense over there for Rutgers. It's going to be important that we score points early, get the crowd out of the game, get everybody rocking and rolling. We can't do the same stuff that we did against Wisconsin. Drive the ball to the 20 or 25 and then stall. Drive the ball, then stall. We have to punch it in. If we're going to beat Michigan, if we're going to go to the playoffs and beat those teams, we got to start punching it in once we get to the 20, 25 in the red zone in general. You get on the other side, at least to 30, 35, it's points, man. We got to score points. And I think that is going to be critical in this game. If we can get down, especially early, drop the ball, score touchdowns, I believe that this game could be a springboard for this offense heading into November. Hopefully, it's not as what we saw as Wisconsin, where stalling, interceptions, fumbles, offensive line missing blocks. We need to be locked in and focused, especially on offensive end, because if this offense can give you a really good 28 a game, 28 to 35 a game, I'm confident we're going to beat a lot of very good teams. I'm very confident, but we haven't shown it. We've showed glimpses and we showed promise. And I know I can probably speak for every Buckeye fan. We've left so many points on the board with good teams. Like Notre Dame, as close as that game was, I feel like we should have beat them by at least 10 to 14 points. Penn State, we should have blew them out. That game should have been over probably in the third quarter. Wisconsin, that game should have been over at halftime. Like, we leave a lot of points on the board. So hopefully we can get back to scoring, finishing drives, running the ball like we did effectively last week against Wisconsin, who I think defensive-wise, they're about the same or similar. I think Wisconsin have maybe played better teams, so maybe their stats are not the same. But I believe Wisconsin defense is just as good, if not better. We know Penn State defense is better than Rutgers, so offense just has to continue running the ball with Travion. It looks like we're going to get a little bit of Dallin Hayden since Mayan Williams is out. Chip will be in there. And Marv just had to be Marv. Was set the tone early, was get the ball in his hand, was get him going, was get him in a good rhythm, was get him Mecca going, was get him into these weapons. Xavier Johnson, Cardinal, like he's going to have a big role because I'm pretty sure, knowing how Ohio State does things, I doubt if we see a lot of Julian Fleming because of his shoulder. He's always had shoulder problems. I'm expecting to see a lot more Cardinal Tate. That's my guy for this game. I think he's going to have a breakout game heading into November because we're going to need him against Michigan. We're going to need some different weapons because they're not going to let Marvin Harrison take over. So I'm expecting big games from Cardinal Tate, and I believe Kyle McCord is going to have a solid game. He's back home playing in his home state. I know he's a little banged up, but that extra motivation, extra juice to play in front of families, you want to do good. We all been athletes before, we all want our families to come, or we playing against, we playing against an old rivalry team, or if a lot of our family gonna be there, or it's gonna be a packed crowd. We want to play well, so I think that's what Kyle McCord is gonna do. I think he's gonna have the best game yet this year against Rutgers. Uh, so I believe that's what's going to happen. My star breakout is going to be Carnell Tate. Last week I was wrong. Last week I said Julian Fleming, but it started out good. But hopefully we can finish it with Carnell Tate. I'm expecting him to have a solid game, a breakout star, and I believe the Buckeyes will be victorious. I do think it's going to be a headache early on. Of course, I think Rutgers going to they're going to punch and punch and punch uh, and try to take us into deep waters as a close game, kind of like Wisconsin. A lot of teams they just want to get it to the fourth quarter, but I believe sometime in the third quarter, I believe the Buckeyes are going to pull away. They're going to score, maybe get a turnover, score again. I believe we're going to go start ahead and pull away. But I think early on till halftime, it's going to be pretty close, man. I'm not expecting the Buckeyes to be a blowout. Hopefully, I pray, but I think it's going to be a good game, and I think that Buckeyes will be victorious. I'm predicting like a 28-10 or 28-13 game. I think that's what it's probably going to be. 28-13, 31-13, something of that nature. You know what I mean? I do feel like Rutgers going to, score and get it down there due to like maybe a scramble here and there by the quarterback, maybe a long run here and there, but just trying to get adjusted to the run fitting. But I do feel like the Buckeyes are going to be victorious. And this will be the first game in November, so this is huge. Getting ready for Michigan State next week, and then you got Minnesota, and then you got the game. You know what I mean? And well, hopefully we have the game. Like I want to play it. You know what I mean? I think it's gonna be a war, man. Like all this Michigan stuff. Like, oof, I think this is gonna be a war, man. I really do, man. I think this is gonna be a war. You can get the best of both teams and make the better team win, but man, Michigan is a mess, man. I know I'm supposed to be doing my Michigan weekly segment, but man, it's just too much to uncover, man. It's just too much. With all these sign stealing, and now the Big Ten might be getting involved, and coaches getting fired, coaches meeting up with underage. It's like, man, what is going on at Michigan, man? Like I said, I'm all for rivalry, people poking fun. But my only thing with Michigan is that you guys are supposed to be so much integrity, and we do it the right way, and the Michigan man per se, and we're just so prestigious. And you come to find out you're just like pretty much everybody else. You know what I mean? That's called being a hypocrite. You know what I'm saying? Your morals, winning was more important than your morals. You know what I mean? So uh, that's what it is, man. That's a lot of colleges, and so I'm not saying it's not just a Michigan thing. I believe a lot of colleges put winning over morals and integrity and doing the right by kids. It's just the truth. It's just the world we live in. You know what I mean? But man, Michigan is a mess, man. But I still want to play the game, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. This is gonna be a war, man. This is gonna be a war for sure. But all in all, man, just a brief analysis about this game. I do think it's going to be a tough game, but I do think the Buckeyes will prevail. My final prediction is 28-13, but I do think Kyle McCord is going to look decent this game. I think the running back's going to look good. I also think my standout Cornell Tate is going to be the difference maker in this. But as we leave, man, like, share, subscribe. Walks Buckeye Talks, man. The more you like, the more people might see the video. Give me some feedback. Uh, and we'll just take it from here, man. I'm excited for this week's game. It's at 11 o'clock. So I ain't got to wait all day to see the Buckeyes play. By the time I get up and get me a workout in, it'll be go time. Uh, so yeah, man. So once again, this is Walks Buckeye Talks with another edition. See you Sunday with the recap. Hopefully it's a Buckeye victory. All right. Peace out.